Hello, my friends. This is Words for Wednesday, and I'm Tom Doherty. The word for Wednesday today is action. A few years ago, when I was doing my doctoral research, one of the things that jumped out at me as I looked at what was going on in the early church and what goes on in the church today in the U.S. is basically, if you look at that first book in the New Testament after Jesus has died and was resurrected, called Acts, and then look at our churches today, we have lots of studies, lots of training, lots of sit-in where we go to a group and hang out together and talk about the Word. But in the early church, the Acts of the apostles and the Acts of the other Christians and disciples was that very thing. They were acting. They were providing action to their faith. And I was struck then, and I'm struck today by the difference between that and coming together for a Bible study in a nice, comfortable place. Typically, we have coffee and some kind of cookies or donuts or something, and we debate back and forth theological strains and understandings, and sometimes that creates division and problems. And in the early church, that we saw problems as well. But if we were to go back to the early church's concept of living out our faith more, we would see a growth in the kingdom like they did in the early church, I believe. So there's nothing wrong with getting together and being discipled, but being discipled is, the point of that is what Jesus did with the 12 in Luke 9, and what he did with the 72 in Luke 10. He sent them out, and they tried out what they understood from Jesus. And the truth is, as you are teachers and disciplers in these groups that come together, a lot of what we teach is doctrine. And what maybe the difference between what Jesus did and what we're doing now is Jesus taught who he was. And that's really what I think we're called to do, is teach who Jesus is, and teach who Jesus is in our own lives as the leaders of these studies, and then send people out. Because if we teach who Jesus is and who we are because of Jesus, that is the mantle that we're giving those that we're teaching. So I hope that's clear, that what I believe the New Testament is telling us to do is to go out, to put feet and hands and heart to what we understand, what we learn about Jesus, and the person who's teaching us about Jesus, to go out and live that out with the people around us. So the challenge is, let's get out of our little groups and be sent out, and maybe our little groups need to commission people and send them out so that they will connect with their neighbors and their co-workers and the people that come across their path, so that they will bring them into a relationship and perhaps begin to disciple them or bring them to a discipleship setting. Well, this is Words for Wednesday, and I'm Tom Doherty. Remember, the word for Wednesday today is action. So put action to your faith and to your discipleship and lead someone towards Jesus Christ. Have a great week. Bye-bye.